Welcome to Match of the Day, where we have all the action from today's Premier League games. We start with Crystal Palace against Manchester City at Selhurst Park, where Pep Guardiola's side were looking to close the gap on leaders Arsenal. Let's see how they got on.
Well, Gary, this was a very tight and tense game. Crystal Palace defended very well and frustrated Man City for most of the match.
Yes, it looked like it was going to be one of those days for Man City, who had a few chances but nothing clear-cut. They also had two players booked for fouls on Zaha and Ed.
They had more possession and more shots than their opponents, but they couldn't find the way past Ederson. But then came the decisive moment in the 77th minute, when Nathan Ake brought down Odsonne Edouard in the box and Robert Jones pointed to the spot. It was a clear penalty and Erling Haaland made no mistake with a powerful strike into the bottom corner. It was a cruel blow for Crystal Palace, who worked so hard but came away with nothing. They remain in 15th place, 7 points above the relegation zone.
That was his 25th goal of the season and it proved to be enough for Man City to claim a vital 3 points. They're now just 2 points behind Arsenal, who play tomorrow against Liverpool. Let's hear from both managers now.
Pep, congratulations on a hard-fought win. How do you feel about your team's performance today?
Thank you. I feel happy for the result, but not for the performance. We were not good enough in the first half. We were slow, sloppy and lacked intensity. We gave them too much space and time on the ball. They had more chances than we and we were lucky to go into half time with a 0-0.
What did you say to your players at half-time?
I told them that we have to change our attitude and mentality. We have to play with more passion, desire and guts. We have to be more aggressive, more focused and more clinical. We have to show we are champions and we want to win this league again.
And you certainly did that in the second half. You made some substitutions that changed the game.
Yes, I think Kevin De Bruyne and Kyle Walker made a big difference when they came on. They brought more energy, creativity and solidity to our team. They helped us control the game better and create more chances.
And what about Erling Haaland? He scored his 25th goal of the season with a penalty.
He is incredible. He has an amazing mentality. He never gives up, he never stops running, he never stops fighting for every ball. He is always hungry for goals and he always delivers when it matters most. He is a joy to work with.
Do you think this win puts pressure on Arsenal ahead of the game against Liverpool tomorrow?
I don't know about that. We just focus on ourselves and try to win every game we play. We know Arsenal are a very strong team and they are having a great season so far. But we are also confident in our quality and our character. We will fight until the end for this title.
Thank you very much, Pep.
Thank you.
Patrick, commiserations on a narrow defeat. How do you feel about your team's performance today?
Thank you. I feel proud of me time. They gave everything on the pitch. They defended very well and frustrated Man City for most of the game. They are more possession and more shot on them, but they could score.
You must be disappointed with the penalty decision that went against you.
I am. I think you have a very soft penalty. Nathan Akbarli touched Odsonne Edouard and the won too easily. I don't think you are no contact to give a penalty.
Against you. Did you speak to the referee?
No, I didn't. There is no point guanta. The referee m'a dit decision and we have to respect. But I think go iront.
What positives can you take from this game?
There are many positive. We show that we can compete with one of the best teams in the world. We show that we have quality, character and spirit. We show that we have a clear identity and style of play and aim.
This game. Do you think this performance will give you confidence for the rest of the season?
Of course. We have to build anti-performance and anti-working every day. We have to improve our finishing and be more clinical in front of goal. We have to keep believing in ourselves and our philosophy.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you.
Well, what a game that was. Crystal Palace pulled off a stunning upset against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. They won 2-1 thanks to goals from Edouard and Gallagher, while Man City only scored a late penalty from De Bruyne. I have to say, I was very impressed by Patrick Vieira's tactics today. He set up his team to be compact and disciplined defensively, but also to be brave and adventurous on the counter-attack. They frustrated Man City's possession game and created some great chances with their pace and movement. Edouard was outstanding up front for Palace. He scored a brilliant solo goal in the first half, beating two defenders and curling a shot into the top corner. He also won the penalty that Gallagher converted in the second half, after being fouled by Ake. Gallagher was another star performer for Palace. He worked tirelessly in midfield, breaking up play and driving forward with energy and skill. He showed great composure to score from the spot and give his team a 2-goal cushion. Man City were below par today. They lacked creativity and urgency in their play. They had plenty of possession, but they couldn't break down Palace's defence. They only managed 4 shots on target out of 25 attempts. They also looked vulnerable at the back, especially when Palace broke quickly with their pacey attackers. Ake had a poor game at centre-back, giving away a penalty and losing Edouard for his goal. De Bruyne scored a consolation goal from the spot in injury time, but it was too little too late for Man City. They will be disappointed with this result, as it leaves them 4 points behind Chelsea at the top of the table. Palace will be delighted with this result, as it lifts them to 7th place in the table. They have shown great improvement under Vieira this season, playing with more flair and confidence than before. This was one of their best performances of the season, and they deserved this win against one of the best teams in Europe.